question relates to that a little bit. For me, your work is all about nudity and the body and pressing the limitations of the body and exploring that. But I noticed that everyone in the re-performance looked like a fashion model. They were all thin, the women had nice breasts, they were all very capable and athletic. And to me that appeared a contradiction that you're exploring the fragility of the body, but you're only using uber bodies to explore that. So I wondered if you thought at all about disabled bodies or fat bodies or bodies that are other than, because to me the people in that show were really fashion models.
Okay, thank you for this question.
I'm going to sit down.
It's a great question. I really appreciate this question because I have an answer for this. So first of all, when I was choosing the performance artist to re-perform the show, the MoMA show, I understood very different. The first time in my life, I understood the difference between performance body and the dancer body. It's a huge difference. The performance body, I have so many students and also performance artists who I think they're great. They're fat, they are different, they're not the most beautiful, they have hanging breasts, they have the big hips, whatever, and men, women, and these people can make the amazing performances, and they're all long durational because I was teaching long durational performance in different academies in the world, and they work on the willpower. The performance is 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, and they really use the willpower because physically they can't make this performance happen if they don't use willpower because physical body is not trained to do this. When I want to do the piece in MoMA, this piece is 3 months. Any of these people could not actually work 3 months in these conditions. I had to audition dancers. They are the dancers who perform because dancers practice every single day, hours and hours. They have a physical stamina to do something that nobody could do. I could not find anybody my age. I'm 67, excuse me, this is not little. And I could not find anybody who can sit on that chair for this period of time. You have no idea how much I suffer. I have swollen legs like this. It was not pretty. I have legs to hurt that I hardly could stand up. I could not even lift my hands to get my dress off. But this was not important. The most important is not how you look or you don't look. It's important to deliver that message and to create that kind of energy, the exchange that you can do this performance. The people could not do what I'm asking to do if they're not dancers. And that just happened, the dancers look like this. They're not fashion models, they're just dancers, and the American dancers. This was the choice I had to make. And then I understood also that if you take the job as a performance, you have to deal with your body, and the body has certain restrictions. And to make able to the body function, you have to move, you have to exercise, you have to have an incredible rigorous diet that is able, that the body is healthy enough to deliver what your ideas are. And if you're not, you have to change profession to something else. So that's my situation. It's not any kind of, the kind of a decision that I have to, make the fashion body, not fashion body. I'm totally not about that. It's about stamina that the dancers had and performance artists don't. Mm-hmm. But a great question. I really enjoyed.
Is there a way, till somebody else stands up, but would there be a way of, your answer makes complete sense, but there is an aesthetic, it does create an aesthetic. Is there a way to still get across the message that it's not about the beautiful body as well?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. But talking about disabled body, there is a famous Indian dancer. She doesn't have a leg from here, and she's the most incredible, the classic dancer in India. So that takes enormous energy, stamina to do that. Mm-hmm. So depends what you want to do with your body. That's the older point. You know, if you're disabled, maybe you can't take performance as a medium to express yourself. Maybe you should write, but that's the choice you have to make. But it's not that, you know.
In your exhibition at MoMA, right at the very end on the second, when you had your performing artists on that floor, not on the first floor where you were, right at the end, before you exited the glass doors, was this plinth that was just kind of quietly on the side. And it was just a place that looked like an extended gravestone. And I was to go to exit out into the main part of the museum, and I was curious, like, what is this kind of long stretch granite plinth? And I went over, and there was this little piece of narrative that said, you can lie down and stay as long as you wish.
What did they say?
She's saying that there was a plinth on the second floor, like a long, like a bench almost, I guess,
An extended bench.
And that there was a small card or inscription that said you can lie down on this for as long as you wish. Was that part of your installation?
Oh no, this was the transitory object, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was nobody around, and I got the courage to lie down on this and closed my eyes and had this experience that you're talking about, that when you read a book, you can close the book and momentarily feel like inspired, but the book goes back on the shelf and you kind of are the same person. But I'm really grateful to tell you that having laid down on the plinth,
You know,
I'm really
what you
not the
lie
same
down,
person.
it's a piece, because that's the part of Abramovic method we are talking about.
Yes, that's
It's
what-
actually made from copper, and they have a quartz pillow, which you have to pose the head.
Yes.
And you see the copper is transmitting energy, and the quartz is giving another type of energy. So you're lying on this, you really instantly relax you, and this was the idea. It was just one piece there like that, because we didn't put more works in this because it's going to be part of institute. But this is exactly what I need the public to learn to do. You know, just to take that moment of now, no past, no future, just that moment of pure presence. And
it
I'm so
was.
happy that you
Yes,
actually
thank you.
took that moment.
Yes, and I'm so deeply grateful because it changed me. And when I did open my eyes, and I thought, you gave me such permission to stay as long as I wished, and then I opened my eyes, and then there was this long lineup of people.
Well, I think it's intimidating. I think people feel intimidated to kind of participate.
But yes, and now I developed this, because of this all the factor of intimidation, I developed this method now that actually the instruction is close your eyes and put the headphones who completely block the sound. So when you're participating, standing, sitting, lying in the museum context, you actually observe film, but at the same time you don't see it. You are with yourself because eyes are closed and you don't hear the sound. So, but you know, you can do in the seclusion of your own home, but actually we never take the time. It's the same time, you know, nobody goes to gym because they always say next day I will do it, and they never do it, you know. So you have to really create some kind of frame that the people go into it. And people don't go to churches anymore, but they go to new temples, and new temples can be museum. And in the museum can be this crazy artist who tell you what to do.
Over
just
here.
wanted to let you guys know that we have the video of the Golden Mask.
Oh, okay. So let's
This
take,
is something that I just want to show. It's a little bit about my background and why, and the really idea of light. And that's
okay. So let's. We'll come back to you in 1 second,
1 minute,
and let's see this.
not long durational. I come from Orthodox background. My grandmother was always going to the church. As a child, I used to go with her. I was very impressed by the icons, especially Serbian, Greek, and Russian Orthodox icons. Then I heard all the stories about icons making miracles and creating an inner light. In the icons, it is all about the internal journey of enlightenment. In a state of pure consciousness, you produce light and project it to the outside world. The light comes from inside.
Why don't you take, do you want to take a moment to talk a little bit about this before we go on?
No, let's go on. Just
Okay.
This is like a little touch.
Okay, there was a woman standing.
I'm actually sitting.
Okay.
I'm also disabled, which is why I'm sitting. But hi, Marina. Hello. I was wondering, when you perform "The Artist Is Present," you obviously had an intention, which you said was to bring each person that came up and sat in front of you sort of back to themselves. Did you find during that time, I kind of have like 2 or 3 questions all in one.
Just one.
Okay, all right. Did you find in that time that you were being relayed information back from the people who sat across from you? Did you feel that you were receiving information from them?
You know, there's so many things happen in that. I mean, you can't, I need like days to talk to you and to tell you about. But just I want to tell you one thing that really happened to me, very important. You know, there was so many people came with wheelchairs. And then with the person coming in the wheelchair, the chair will be removed and there will be a place to sit. And I remember the second months, there came men in the wheelchair. And I realized, I could not realize in the beginning because you need time to kind of get conscious about everything. And I realized that actually the table who was in the front of me obstacled my view, that I could not see if this person have legs, don't have legs, or how badly disabled he was. And this realization brought me to the decision that I should remove the table. Because why I should have this table? This is not necessary anymore. In the beginning it was so necessary because I needed some kind of props, I needed some kind of protection, I needed some kind of, you know, the kind of setup, the 2 chairs and the table. And actually on the last months I didn't need anymore. So because of that incident, I asked to remove the table. And the moment I removed the table, it was like a totally another journey. There was nothing between me and the person sitting opposite of me. It was a direct contact. It was a direct communication, so strong, so powerful that you know, I almost could enter in their minds, and they could enter in mine. I could feel that. And the whole thing I was busy with is to be always in that moment, in the present, that my mind was never anywhere else. And that was all my efforts I was putting on that. And I always have to control the breathing, because if you breathe very slowly and rhythmically, your mind is stable. If you start breathing, you know, fast, you lost the concentration. So that was so much effort, because, you know, 7 hours every day and 10 hours on Friday. 10 hours on Friday was this. This was really, even for me, too much. But that was lots of things to happen.